sports pace. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or well, what was dead night for me for FP1. It's now just beginning of morning now. Here, we're about 2 minutes away from beginning of FP2. This is the Race Statistics channel, and this is Crash with you with live action of that practice session. Um, so free practice one had a red flag. Basically, what we know is that Albin went over a curb and he pulled up rubber. We thought it was at first we thought it was like a piece of carbon on the track. Gasly thought that when he went by. No, it was just rubber that was in the construction of the curve that was pulled up. And that gave us a 25-minute red flag period. Because they had to like figure out what that was, what was going on, and then on top of that, had to then verify the track is safe. There was a moment where one of the stewards was over where they pulled up that rubber, and he was like, you could see the flexing of the curb up and down. So, someone asking, do we have for rain? We're not expecting any rain in this session. So, what there was some red flag stuff, and it looked like the stewards decided not to basically investigate. So now F2 got really wild, and if you guys want to go back and watch some of the highlights of the F2 quality session, that got really wild at the very end. And basically, there were two red flags at the end of that session. One red flag, and there was about 10 minutes before they got back to running again. And then with 1 minute left on the clock, Stanek crashed into Bennett. Stanek was on a very flying lap, was trying to get onto another flying lap, and came back onto the track and crashed into Bennett, and that brought out the second red flag, which ended the session. So Jack Crawford is actually going to be the pole winner out of that session because of that. Dune did not get his lap in because of the red flag. So it's really, really interesting what happened over there. So F2 is really shaken up basically on what happened. Again, we're about to go live. We've gone live on my stream already. We got Elle, we got Paula, we got Mayaki, Shay is here. If you are a member of the channel, now's the time to say something so I can call you out. Give you... Dark is here. These are the family. These are people who have been... Most of here. Yeah. The most of what I'm talking about here is the people are in green. They have a little badge next to their name. I have that as well, but I'm in blue because I'm a mod, unfortunately. We've been throwing money at the channel for now 4 years on my behalf. But month after month, most of these people have been donating money to keep the lights on. Benefits of it is basically you get called out every stream. You also get emojis that are specific to the channel. So that's if someone can throw that in the chat for me, that'd be great. One of the things that was mentioned in the pre-quali show, basically at F1 TV, is that the track temperature has dropped significantly since FP1 and F2. There's been stuff happening on track, and they've sweeped it, and that was noted that the track was very dusty and green this weekend. So, and then there we go. We've got, I think those are the Saubers coming out. Yeah, it's Hulkenberg and Portolello. I was doing it looks like a pit lane exit start. Yeah, Brandon, we're not racing. We're just doing practice right now. Please get your terminology correct. We're not. We don't go racing until Sunday morning, and this is not a sprint weekend. One thing to be interesting is that we're using the C4, C5, and C6. C6 is that new soft compound step softer than our traditional C5, and we haven't seen it survive over a whole lap except at Monaco. I mean, it was designed for Monaco to last at Monaco, but they're using it, Pirelli's using it here, and I think we're seeing a little better performance of the C6 compound this weekend. But that's one of the things that's going to be in play is it going to be actually effective this weekend? And it might, and we've seen the C5, the medium compound, outperform the C6 soft compound. So that is one of the things that's in play this weekend with tires. No, not extra hard, extra soft. You went in the wrong direction. Who's watching FP2? We all are right now. I mean, it just started. Again, this is Grash with you live. As we have got, again, trying to see, Hulkenberg and Borlau are going to come across the line for the first time. So we're still waiting for people doing, Borlau just finished their first outlap. Borlau is about to finish their first outlap unless they pit. We are live on Twitch as well as YouTube now. That's cool. So welcome those in Twitch chat. Moment to reset. Got Georgia and we've got Tank Stella and Tony in chat over at Twitch right now. Thank you for being here. How's Hulkenberg P1? Because he went first out of the gate. He's basically the first one to set a time, and Borrell will be the second to set a time. Like Max is coming to a line right now, but that was his outlap, so he's now technically starting a new flying lap. Yeah, I'm gonna say this one more time. We do have standards in our chat. We have standards in our community, and if you're going to, and we have a yellow flag, sector 15, and that might be Lawson. Take a look at what's going on over here. So the Ian went deep in turn 15, they're saying, but he is moving. So we're back to where we had, yeah, so basically the yellow flag resolved back to green. Lance is trying to get past one of the Ferraris out of the pit lane, but we'll see if the stewards say anything about that. Another yellow flag, sector 9. So Lawson went into the escape route, which is very short on this track. And then we've gone back to green, so it means someone has gone off and come back off. And that looks like, is that Hamilton? Hamilton comes up to, not sure which turn this is, but Hamilton goes off track. Hamilton has a stop. No, he's back on. Yeah, that was just bad data. Okay, so again, early action. We've got several yellow flags, and the drivers are going off track into the escape routes because they're not making their turns. And I don't know what else to tell you. That's what we're going to see. There's a lot this weekend. Right now, we've got Max at the top of the board, 143.226 time. Oscar is a 143.307. Sainz is 143.328. And Albin is 143.467. These are, so Oscar's back 0.081, Sainz 102, and then 241 for Albin. Sonoda's fifth, and he's 685 back. And he did that on. So it's interesting. Sonoda's on a soft tire. That's the C6. Albin is on the hard tire, which is the C4. And then Sainz is on the medium. Yellow flags ruin Hamilton purples. No. I mean Hamilton also went off track on that lap as well. So looking at chat right now, we've got several of you rooting for Max at the moment. He's at top of the board. Hugmer's gone to the top of the board, 143.064. He is 162 faster than Max. And Oscar's now falling back to 243. Russell to the top of the board. He is now 105 faster than Hulkenberg. Borrell to the top of the board. Wow, it's a big jump. Almost 4 tenths for Borrell on a medium tire. So it is looking like the medium tire is performing. Borrell did a 142.561. Hamilton jumping up to P3 now. We're doing a lap on a medium tire. 742 behind. Now, Leclerc has gone to the top of the board, 142.207. We have yellow flag, sector 10. And it's resolved with green. So that means that driver has gone off and come back on the track. So Norris top of the board, 142.199. Fastest sector 1, sector 2. Leclerc has the fastest third sector. So it was Ollie Behrman who missed the castle turn. Barlow is number 3 right now. He is 362 behind Norris. Leclerc only 8,000 behind Norris. He's the fastest third sector. Leclerc is second in sector 2. Look, a moment of panic for Behrman. He went around. I think one of the Alpines. He had to go around one of the Alpines and just didn't commit to the turn. They're talking with Stoffel Van Dorn. He's on top of one of the hotels by turn 1. Actually, is a good view. But so right now, Norris has gone P3 with 142.495. He's 296 behind Norris. So we got spread out. Ichi 996 1-bit share. Hello. We've got 47 minutes and 30 seconds to go in this session. Again, this is Grash with you with live coverage of Free Practice 2. Sainz has gone fifth, 142.734 lap time, 5.35, so over half a second lap time. He's ahead of his teammate in P6, who has a 0.666 gap. Whoa, the devil, everyone. Now, Albon did his time on hard tire. Sainz did his on a medium. Oscar just did P7, also 0.666, same time as Albon. Don't know what's going on, but we are getting the number of the beast, everyone. Oscar did his on a used soft tire. Max did his on a soft tire. Lawson goes to P5 on a medium tire, 0.457. So he's not a number of the beast. Here comes Leclerc right now. He's got the fastest first sector right now. Hamilton on a good is lap one as well. I mean, sector one as well. So he's actually Hamilton is now taken away from Leclerc. Leclerc's going to have to deal with some traffic. They get out of the way, so it's not that big a deal. So Leclerc finished second sector in the purple. We'll see how Hamilton goes. So Leclerc goes to the top of the board, 141.786. Hamilton comes down to sector 2. He's going to take the purple from Leclerc, so he's on a flying lap. So basically, Leclerc would have been pretty much a flying lap if Hamilton not take it from him. Hamilton has a chance to do a full purple flying lap. He is coming to the line now. And Hamilton's not going, he's going to lose 2/10 to Leclerc in that sector 3, and that's going to be enough it's going to be a 152 gap between Leclerc and Hamilton. So we've got 1, Hamilton 2, Norris 3, Verstappen 4th. Bordello is 5th right now. Lawson is 6th. Sainz is 7th. Albon is 8th. And Oscar is 9th. Again, Albon and Oscar are at the same time. Albon gets the advantage because he set his time first. Got almost 600 of you watching on Twitch chat right now. Thank you so much. That's a huge number. Glad to see that we are getting some traction on that platform finally. Isaac has gone to P4. Again, for those of you who are watching here on Twitch chat for the first time, this is Grash, your commentator. And this is the Racing 6 channel. We're live on both YouTube and Twitch. Live, I maybe live on a few more. Maybe, I don't know. We've been sorting out update issues. So, if you have questions in chat, you want to drop a question to me, Grashariza, use at me in chat, and that will highlight my name. So if you at me in chat, it will highlight. It'll make it easier to see what you're saying. Now, Norris is on a flying lap. He's got the fastest second sector right now. Sainz is moving up 4th with a 142.255 lap time. That's 469 behind Leclerc's time. And here comes Norris. Norris is going to pit, so he's going to abandon his lap. He had the fastest second sector by almost 365. He's exactly 141 seconds on the dot. So just he abandoned that lap. What are the tire compounds in this week? So the hards are the C4 compound. The medium is the C5. And this is the normal soft that we usually see is the C5. That's going to be our medium compound. And we've got the super fast C6. Those are the tire that was designed for Monaco. And it basically designed to survive one lap at Monaco. So with these longer tracks, we've seen it fall off really quickly across that lap. Ultimately, the C5, the C6 is performing, but we've seen the C5 outperform the C6 in a couple of situations already. Again, we've got mix of soft and mediums in the top 10, and then a rogue hard tire. So one of the things they're talking about right now on F1 TV is the tire distribution, and they're actually Pirelli is trying to force the teams to do a two-stop race with this C6 compound, and they've not given the teams the normal number of what would be the C5 compound. So they're trying to forcing teams to figure out when they're going to use the C5 compound. Whether they're going to use it in quality, if it turns out to be faster, which is starting to look like it might be because it's more durable. It's not falling apart like the C6 is again. So that's one of the things that we're looking at as we go through. 40 minutes left to go in this session right now. I want to thank everyone who's here. 1,400 of you, almost 1,500 in YouTube, 763 in Twitch chat right now. That's a huge number for Twitch. Again, don't feel free to ask questions in chat, everyone. Again, this is the Race Statistics channel, and this is Crash with you, live coverage of FP2. Quick, Lance Stroll. Ooh, that's a big. He hit the turn 15. Doing another view. Oh, he hit it hard. Showing a replay of Leclerc hitting the wall, one of those liquid molly boards. Again, cars are there bouncing off those walls. Lucky that it's not bigger damage, just minor touches. What's going on with Oscar? I mean, they just cycled in with the pits. I mean, they may be doing a secondary. He may be doing race runs. With Oscar again, with a time being 1.3 back. Again, almost 9/10 off his teammate, or was it 9/10? 6/10, almost 7/10. I would think that he may not be doing. He may be weighted down with fuel to do a race run, getting race run data, as opposed to Norris doing a quali run data right now. Jason was asking in chat the first time, what's your favorite driver? I don't particularly have a favorite driver. I try not to. I mean, I enjoy, and by doing so, I can sit back and enjoy as things happen. Hamilton has gone to the top of the board with 141 5:43 and he did it on a medium tire. He has the fastest first sector. He's second in sector 2. Got a good 10th on his teammate in sector 1. It's only 126 behind Norris in sector 2. So, why is everyone losing time in sector 3? I think they've set a good time early on, and it's hard to match that lap over lap. Again, the Leclerc did a 24.5. Again, right now they've all come to the pit, so these times are not representative. But that's a really hard bar. Like they've done really, like Colpino has done a 24.529. Isaac did a 24.558, and these are hard. These are really fast times, unfortunately, and they've done it early. So it's they're trying, and they're also probably maybe trying some other things through that second sector. They're also been hitting the wall around 16 a lot as well. Is another issue. I know, particularly with some of those soft tires, C6, they may not have enough grip. When they get to that third sector, they may have shot their tire in sector 1, sector 2 as well. It's another issue that we may be dealing with as well. So. Yeah, sector 3, I would call it, it's more orange than yellow on the track. So sector 1 is that red from the start-finish line to turn 5. Blue is the second sector, that is through the castle section, effectively. The turn, and then sector 3 is the back half of this castle section back to the start-finish line. G2S, another one of our members over here in YouTube chat, is pointing out that C6 overheated already before the last sector. That's very, very possible. And I'm waiting for everyone's in the pit right now, and this is teams are setting up the car for a new program at the moment. So this is not being caused by a red flag or anything at the moment. And this tends to happen. Not usually you see 1 or 2 people out on track, but it looks like everyone's coming at the same time. Doing a lot of work on Hamilton's car, it looks like. I don't have the weather report right now. That we'll cover tomorrow in more detail, because right now there was no rain today predicted at all. And that is someone has a Franz Hermann banner, and that's if those don't know, that is the name that Max Verstappen has used to basically drive under. He registered himself under that name to basically obscure the fact that he was going to a practice session, effectively, for GT2 cars, basically. I wasn't GT2, but he has now gone to the GT2. The Nürburgring. He's basically gotten a license to drive the Nuremberg track for an endurance license. Yeah, Coffee. It is actually, when we talk about the castle section, that's at that circle on the left side, and Colpino has come out of the pits, by the way. So that's the blue all the way around to the orange section. That is around a castle. So we're not joking about that. Yeah, he thinks Andrea Hub says I think might leave F1 in 2 or 3 years. We will be focusing on his GT3 racing. I mean, that's possible. It will that will depend on how Red Bull goes forward into the next regulations and where because they're basically building a powertrain and the engine with Ford going forward next year. So Colby was just the first one to go out. People are now coming out of the pit lane. They were stacked. They have stacked up. Looking at what you guys are saying in chat right now, I want to thank everyone over in YouTube chat and over in Twitch chat. If we're on other platforms I'm not aware of at the moment, thank you for guys for being there. And of course, those of you are going to be watching this on demand after the fact. I want to thank you. They definitely got a good number of cameras for those beautiful landscape city shots, and they're definitely F1. The F1 crew has definitely put more cameras out than we've seen in previous years. So. What are the blue sectors? So we're talking about the mini sectors, and that's basically referring to when a car is leaving when they enter a pit. So Hamilton right now went into the pits at the end. Those last two sectors are him entering the pits. Leclerc just exited the pits. Those two blue sectors are him leaving the pits. Again, there is sector 2, which is represented as blue as well. So that may be the other thing you're talking about. So. We're asking Isaac potential replacement for Yuki. That is in the. Norris apparently has gone into the wall and his tires are gone. He's going 55. He's going slow. He's trying to see his replay of Norris right now. And did he hit the wall? Is that where he hit the wall? Yeah, he went in and he hit the back. So I don't think his tires hit, but his back wing hit the wall. Oh no, the left right rear tire hit the wall. So basically, Lando has got damage to his car, and he is struggling to get back to the pits. He is a moving chicane right now. I don't know if there's a puncture. He's still moving, so this is why it's still green flag running. I know the board shows him as a stop, but that's not correct. He is still moving. He is just moving slowly. He's at 60 kilometers a mile. It's about 35, 33 miles per hour, which is not very fast. It's up to 43, 70 kilometers an hour right now. So he's getting back, but he's got damage. Norris is getting around turn 16, and I think they are waving the yellow flag because he's a track hazard, unless someone else went off track. The good news is it's only FP2. Yeah, I mean that is only FP2. Showing a replay of Norris right now. Oh, he hit the other side of his car. So that was turn 4. This was later around like turn 12. And Norris is coming to pit lane. And he's just struggling to keep control of the car. It's just wobbling back and forth. Following Lando right now. There is some sort of damage to his car. He is going because he can't get up to speed, and the car is buckling back and forth on him. He has made it into the pit lane. So Lando is coming into the pits. He is being met by his team. And they're going to wrist him off the ground and put him on the dolly. He's being pulled into the garage. So Lando, what we know right now, has managed to hit his tires on the wall, and it's done damage to his car. It's 25 minutes left to go in this session. I suspect that Lando will probably be out for the rest of the session while they fix his car. Watching Oscar right now. He's starting the castle section right now. Ooh, he's got a back end understeer. Back end of his car is sliding on him. Feels like he's getting a little bit more drift. I want to thank those who are watching right now. We've got over 1,000 of you watching on Twitch chat, and we've only got 1,700 on YouTube right now. We got 24 minutes and 35 seconds left to go in this section. Again, this is Crash with you. And this is the Race 60 channel. Suntouch saying yo over on Twitch chat. Thank you, man. Over on YouTube chat, I was being asked what's my opinion on Cadillac F1 with Valtteri and Checo. I love it. I mean, they basically are taking experience, but where the team is right now, they need those two guys with their experience to help set up the team. We also need to take into account that Colton Herta from IndyCar, and he's an IndyCar winner, by the way, he's going to be the test driver. Oh, man. So Oscar has touched the wall as well, and they're telling him to drive slow. He doesn't know if he's got damage, but they're telling him to slow down. So why is Oscar struggling? Well, first of all, Oscar, we assume Oscar had done some race runs earlier in this session. Russell jumping up to P3 as we talk about this. 141.770. He's 4/10 back on Leclerc. Hamilton's only 176 behind his teammate. So yeah, I mean, so both of the McLarens have hit the wall. We're watching one of the Alpines kiss the wall. More kiss it and bounce type scenario. We've got 23 minutes left to go in this session. Watching Alonso bounce back and forth through the castle section right now. Varel's here. Hey, man. Given how this session has been going and where the drivers are at the moment, I am thinking my streak might end up not happening as I expected. We're, if we get a red flag, it'll be a surprise. Wait, team chat is cussing? Yeah, they can cuss over team radio. It's when they're in an interview setting. The FI expects them to be more composed, and so that's where the issue comes up. Oscar doesn't push his car like Norris. Well, they just both touched the wall with their cars. So Oscar's back out on track. That's interesting. He's on an outlap, isn't he? Yeah, he's on an outlap at the moment. So he did not. While he touched the wall, he didn't do damage to this car. So right now we've got Behrman putting together a good lap at the moment. So is Ocon. So Behrman has just gone P4, 141.891. Here comes Ocon. He's going to jump up to 7th. He's 8/10 behind Leclerc. Behrman is only 5.24. Sonoda jumps up to 13th. He is a second off right now. He's about 5/10, 4 to 5 tenths behind his teammate Max. And I think they're going to put Oscar out on race run instead of quali run right now. Right now, Oscar's 17th. He's 1.4, almost 1.5 back from H.E. In Twitch chat, sending some bits and sharing for Yuki. Thank you for that. We are under 20 minutes to go, and there is a yellow flag. Is it going to resolve? Trying to see who it is. It looks like it's Bortolello. Is it Oscar? A yellow flag infringement for Oscar. We'll see. It's been noted. It looks like Bortolello missed one of the turns, and then around 5-6 missed the turn and went off track and came back on. So yellow flag has been resolved back to green. So the Haas's are in the top 10 right now. That's interesting to see. Whether or not that will hold out tomorrow is another thing. What's also different today is that, with the exception of Leclerc and Hamilton, we're very spread out in terms of our gaps. Russell's point is third; he's 0.4. Behrman is 5.2 back. Stappen is 5.3 back. Lawson is 0.6. Ocon is 0.8 back. But even still, from P1 all the way down to P20, we're only talking about 2.1 seconds, particularly 2.136 seconds. It's the difference between P1 and P20 right now, and that's a competitive number, and that shows how tight things have gotten with this set of regulations. You guys are saying in chat right now. A lot of conversation about the Red Bull driver situation. Again, one of the things that's in play with Red Bull is that Yuki Tsunoda is a Honda driver, and he's in, and this is the last year Red Bull will be working with Honda, and that next year it's all Ford going forward starting next year. And Lando is still in the pits. He's dropped to ninth right now. He's 0.832 back, but again, he's only done 7 laps. Oscar jumps up to 11th with a 142.295, 0.928 back. I suspect there's 2 things going on. I kind of suspect that Oscar's probably weighted down with fuel. I suspect he's doing a race run. If not, then the other issue then is that he's pulling back because he has hit the wall. Antonelli jumping up to 4th. He's behind his teammate, 141.779. It's literally 9 thousandths difference between Russell and Antonelli. So we've got Ferrari looking top of the board, and then we've got Mercedes looking 3-4. Interesting scenario this weekend. One of the things that's going on right now is that if McLaren gets a 1-2 or a 1-3 finish this weekend, they will earn enough points to basically lock up the constructors leaving out of Baku. Now, right now, that does not look as that may not be the case. Weighted on with what? Mostly fuel. It'd be fuel. And and this is a good time to do it because this is the temperatures that we're seeing here right now. Ooh, Russell's sliding, slid a lot. And I think, did he hit the wall hard? How hard did he hit the wall? Russell definitely was sliding around a lot. One view looks like he hit the wall. Another view he did not. Tire compounds. So we're using the hard compound is a C4 compound. We normally see that as a medium. The medium compound is C5. We normally see that as a soft compound. And then the soft compound is the super soft C6 compound that was designed for Monaco. At other tracks, we have seen it fall off in the middle of a lap, and that's why we're seeing hard to get faster sector 3 times. Particularly those are on the soft tire. We are under 4 minutes and 30 seconds right now. And we got several cars coming into the pits right now. Let's do it. The Haas's are coming out of the pits. They're doing their pit outs right now. So they're entering the track. Behrman's about to do a pit lane start. So we're in the middle of teams cycling through programs right now. Lou going over in YouTube chat saying that McLaren pace is hiding. Well, yeah, but I mean, McLaren pace is hiding because they've hit the wall. You know, looking at right now is who's coming out. So cycle right now, who's staying on track right now with their programs, and the Haas's, which are starting a new program. Isaac is coming out, and Stroll is coming out. The next ones to come out to start the program. Hamilton has just gone top of the board with a 141.293. He's 74 thousandths faster than his teammate right now. Now, Clerk is in the pits right at the moment. We'll see if he comes out any moment now. Again, now to the next 5 to 6 minutes, we'll be seeing the rest of the teams come out of the garage. Oh, 2 years ago, Ollie Byrne was the first driver to lead every session of an F2 weekend in Baku. So that's interesting. Trivia for you. Yeah, we got 12 minutes and 15 seconds left to go in this session right now. Again, this is Grash with you here with coverage of practice 2. If you guys want to get my attention, I'm putting my name in chat for you. If you use @Grashariza in your question, it'll highlight my name, and I will be able to see it better if you hadn't used it. Right now, no one is cooking at the moment. Russell had a good lap at it, but lost at the wall and came in. Let's see. Max, some people are saying had to skip the first practice this morning. Yeah, that was kind of brutal for me. That was 3:30 in the morning, and yeah, for those who've heard my opening, I go good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and maybe dead at night. It was literally dead at night for FP1 for me this morning. So looking at what they're saying over the radio right now. Again, I'm looking at the board. No one is trying to improve. Bierman just did a almost 5 seconds off the. So 5 seconds off the quali pace. You know what Hamilton has just did. That's indicating they're doing a race run, and they're not worried about the fastest speed possible. They're doing setup, trying to find a setup that works great for the car for the race. Got to give it to the fans over here in Baku. They're invested. They're not crazy like the Chinese or the Japanese fans, and they're not wild like the Tifosi or the Orange Army, but they're invested. And then I believe this is it's not Max. This is Ollie Behrman backing off back onto the track. He missed the turn to the castle section, so that is, I believe, turn 5-6. He missed. So that was the yellow flag that we just had is now resolved to green. Is now Behrman back on track going forward. March, first time in the season for both McLaren in the midfield row. Yeah. Well, I mean, they both hit the wall. I mean, right now, like Lando's not coming back out onto track. There's damage to his car that they have to fix. And I think Oscar right now they've weighted his car, and that's weighted with most likely with fuel to simulate what it would be like during the race tomorrow on Sunday. There is again second time Behrman this session has missed that turn into the castle section. So they're telling Sainz cancel lap time track. I assume this is the engineer. I'd like to do some following statistics. Please statistics. We are on Racing Statistics channel here, so that is following along. We got 1,180 in Twitch chat. We got 1,823 in YouTube chat. This is a huge number for a free practice on a Friday. Huge number for Twitch. Huge. We just got over 12,000 in Twitch chat. So thank you so much. Again, this is the Racing channel, and we've got 7 minutes to go in this practice session. This is Grash, your commentator, trying to give you a good idea of what's going on right now. And right now, ultimately, the teams are now doing what I think are race runs. We're not seeing a lot of yellow on the board. No one's improving in their times. Again, this is not quali, so it's not important. They don't need to do a improve on time. And as such, the drivers are not pushing their cars as they were doing in FP1 and early in this session, as it is already. While we may have had a red flag in FP1, and we may have had several red flags in FP2, it looks like that streak is going to end with free practice 2. Has Hamilton done any race sims? I'm not sure, to be quite honest. I think we'll find out now because he's coming out of the pits. But we know Leclerc has been doing race runs. His last lap was horrible. See what his next lap looks like. Where they did a 141, fastest was like 141 into the 142s. We're seeing, 147, 146. So there's several, 5 to 6 seconds off. Lisa's saying Yuki must have better results in Lawson, otherwise he loses his seat. It's from Mario. I think you meant Marco. Not Mario Andretti, but Marco. Helmet Marco. Everyone is on track right now except for Norris, and that's because he hit the wall hard. And his car is basically effectively being repaired right now. Shay saying Hamilton's P1 seems to have helped my chanting. We are at 3 minutes and 45 seconds left to go in this session right now. Guys, I just joined. What happened till now? We've been seeing a lot. Earlier in the session, we saw a lot of shake-up with drivers. They were, they did their simulated quali runs early in this session, and now they have now gone to just race runs. And we can see that based on times at the moment, like 146, 147, 148 lap times. But the other thing is that a lot of drivers are hitting the wall still. The worst of that has been Lando Norris, who basically is going to be in the pit for the rest of the session. Been in the pit. He's only going to do 7 laps. Russell's done 15. Behrman has done 20, and we'll see a couple of drivers doing 2.5 to 3 times as many laps. And we have a yellow flag, and that is Leclerc has gone off track. Don't know which turn he's missed. But he's now gone back to green, ultimately because he's back on track moving forward again. What happened to Lando? I wasn't here. He basically hit the wall hard and did damage to his car. Suspension failure. Well, that's if you hit that hard, that you will get a suspension failure. Yeah, Lando's car went back, like went around the rest of the lap, but it managed to get back to the pits, but he limped back hard. Those are your YouTube chat. We just about to hit 300 likes. We can get a lot more. It's got 300 likes. Thank you. For those who are in YouTube, if you like and subscribe and you hit the bell, you'll get notifications when we go live. For those who are in Twitch chat, as long as you subscribe and you have got your notifications set up correctly, you'll know when we go live. You can also just stay on this page, and it will refresh when we go live as well. So, I want to thank the almost the 1,200 of you who have been watching on Twitch chat. I want to thank the 1,800 of you or so who have been watching on YouTube chat. Got another yellow flag, and it's Albin, and that's going to resolve back. So he missed turn 4. "42 seconds left to go." Again, this has been Grash Uriza. I've been your commentator again. I'll be back tomorrow for free practice 3 in quali, and I'll be back for the race as well on Sunday. I don't know if I'll have anyone else working with me this weekend. I just don't. I'm not fully awake. That's what happens. You wake up at 3:30 in the morning. Actually, 2:30 in the morning for me. And we've got 10 seconds left to go. And this is, again, for me, I'm in Central Time USA. This is the same time zone as Coda. I'm about 2.5 to 3 hours away from Coda, depending on traffic. It's Dallas traffic. It's not good. And we have hit our flag. First car to take the flag was car number 5, Bortolello. So looks like there may be some decision documents. We'll keep an eye. I know they were noted, but I don't know if they were fully investigated. We'll keep an eye on that for tomorrow. So tomorrow for FP3, I'll have the decision documents page up for you, and we'll talk about anything that shows up there. If you're wanting to have fun, go look at the decision documents for FP2 for the quality session for F2. 2 red flags, 3 infringements. One of them was a team manager, and then there was another 6 to 7 summon documents. So there's going to be some fun times with F2 before we get to their first race tomorrow. One GHT is saying, "Well, the time sounds hard here in Germany where they're at. It's 3 p.m." Yeah, but it's going to be fun when you guys hit Coda, Brazil, Mexico, and Vegas. It will be a fun time when you hear you guys talk about those. Just looking at what you guys are saying in chat before we take off. Again, when we're done with the stream, we'll move to the FP3 stream on YouTube. Again, for those of you who are on Twitch chat, don't worry. If you leave the page open, you'll be ready to go when we go live tomorrow. For everyone here at the Racing Statistics channel, we appreciate you guys picking us and coming and watching with us. You have other options to watch along or to just watch F1 TV by itself. So we appreciate that. Just so you know, we do have a Discord channel. Drop that into Twitch chat for you. There you go. So we have a Discord server. We also have a website as well. So we'll definitely have DATs and data from FP2 up. Els Cook is asking, who's Adrian Parker? I have no clue who that is, El. You'll have to text me more information later on. I have no clue who that is off the top of my head, El. So, as it stands right now, Hamilton was top of the board. Leclerc was second. George was third, and Anthony was fourth. Ollie Bearman was fifth, and Max was sixth. Liam was seventh. So that is interesting. Ocon was 8th, Albon 9th, and Norris was 10th. Sainz was 11th, and Oscar was 12th. Again, Norris got 10th after having his car taking damage when he broke the suspension by hitting the wall. So my red flag counter will be set back to 0. We didn't get a red flag, unfortunately. Again, I'm usually the harbinger red flag. And I thought I would get another red flag during this session. It's just not happening. Again, for everyone in the racing statistics, we will see you tomorrow for FP3 and quali. For the rest of you, have a good day and take care, everyone. I'll see you soon.